Okay, welcome to Warhammer. Unfortunately, my friends tonight were not able to make it. They had some prior arrangements, so it's just me by myself tonight. So I decided I'd give you guys a little taste of what I bring to the table and why I bring it to the table. Seen here is my 1750 Eldar list. It's my list, and I'm planning on taking down to the Games Workshop place down the street and giving it a run for its money there. It's been essentially play tested with Warhammer 40k and on the game table, and it works pretty well. It hasn't launched yet for me. It's not without flaw. It definitely does have some flaws, but it's as close to a list as I can get that really allows me to do what I want to do. So I'm going to go over each unit here and explain why I use them and what I use them for. First off, here is my jet bike Seer Council. As you can see, they're not painted yet because I just assembled them a couple weeks ago and I'm still painting. I do have a custom jet bike Farce here that I made out of a couple different parts. I don't know if you can see that very well. As you can see, he has his own cape and spear and all that fun stuff like that. He actually uses a witchblade, but I thought the spear effect was pretty cool, so I went with that. The Seer Council is a wonderful, wonderful tool. I don't consider it to be great at anything other than being a diversion. They have powers, sure. They have Fortune, they have Doom. My standard loadout with them is 3 Destructors up here in the front, 1, 2, 3, and then Bold in the back, Enhance on the right, and then my Farce here with Doom, Fortune, Spirit Stones, and just a standard Witchblade. It's very important to keep them in a correct formation. All 3 Destructors have to be in the front. That way you get the maximum range out of their flamer template. And the Destructor is an awesome ability. The more you can have, the better. Embolden isn't always nice because you never know what's going to happen. I mean, you never know if you're going to fill out psychic tests, and then you get a chance to re-roll it, so it's nice. It's basically like giving your Farseer some runes of witnessing, but it's a lot cheaper than that too. Enhance is a no-brainer. Gotta have Enhance. Gotta have that initiative. Gotta have that weapon skill. Otherwise, you're going equal at the same time as your Space Marine counterparts, and you don't want that to happen. What these guys do better than anything else is distract your opponent. They're a big, fancy, expensive unit, and they are just absolutely fantastic at soaking up firepower. With rerollable 3+ saves, 4+ invulnerable, these guys are absolutely hard to kill. I have seen them survive 96 shots, and I only lost 2 guys when I was fighting against Tau about a month ago. These guys are just absolutely fantastic at living. In terms of combat potential, they aren't that great. They have Witchblades which allow you to wound on 2+, this is true, but because they're not a power weapon, they don't work that as well as you would hope. Yes, they can kill some weaker, fragile units, but against a dedicated assault unit, they're not going to do very well. Definitely beware Terminators, because the Terminators will just eat you for breakfast. I typically use them just to kill vehicles and run around the map making a havoc, because it allows the rest of your army to do its work. Excellent unit. I highly suggest that you invest in them if you don't already have a jet bike Seer Council. Moving up next is my Warwalkers. I haven't equipped these guys yet, but all 3 of them have scatter lasers. Now, a group of 3 Warwalkers with scatter lasers is only 180 points for 24 strength 6 shots. That is some serious firepower. They don't hit very well, but on average you're going to hit with 12 of them, and you're going to wound with 10 of them. So that is just absolutely enormous firepower. That's going to kill your Rhinos, it's going to kill your Razorbacks, your most dedicated transports will get killed with ease when you use these guys. They will just absolutely murder anything they're firing at. Their biggest problem is that garbage armor of 10. 10 will fall to anything. A basic bolter can knock a weapon off of these guys without any problems whatsoever. So my typical strategy with them is to hide behind something, particularly my tanks, because these guys usually just hang back anyway, and these guys have a 36-inch range with that scatter laser. I usually just hide them. Just let them hang back, shooting, give them that cover save from the tanks. The fire prisms are much stronger. They're going to live a lot longer. That's what I typically do. Against a mech-heavy army, what I typically recommend you do is actually outflank with them, because they have the Scout's ability. And that way you can come in on the sides and just pop that juicy side armor or juicy back armor, depending on what the tank is. Excellent unit, cheap, powerful. I recommend them to anybody. Next up is our big boys, the fire prisms. The Fire Prism is a notorious Eldar unit for being just brutally powerful and efficient. It has two different modes. It has a big blast template that is Strength 5 AP4, or you can do a small blast template of Strength 9 AP2. Keep in mind that AP2 Strength 9 is enough to pop groups of Terminators. That is powerful right there. Most people fear the Terminator. I do not fear the Terminator. The Terminator to me are free kills. Typically what I will do against Marine armies is I will actually twin link the two, fire one into the other, and make a large blast template Strength 6 AP3. That way you're going to kill on 2s, because they can't ignore that unless they have invulnerable saves in the mix, but usually Space Marines don't. Fire Prisms are awesome. They're fast, they're powerful, but I recommend not taking them with anything. I don't give them a single upgrade. Sure, you can say Hollow Fields are nice, there's no denying that. Spirit Stones are nice as well, but for the points, they just don't play a big enough part. The points are better spent elsewhere. That's why I don't give them anything except for vanilla Fire Prism. That way, if you lose one, it's not that big a deal. Moving up here are my dedicated transports, everybody's favorite, the Wave Serpent. They have great armor, and they have an ability called Energy Shield. I think that's what it's called. I can't remember this for whatever reason. But this makes it so any gun over Strength 8 is reduced to Strength 8. So those las cannons, those rail guns, they will be dropped to Strength 8. Gives them a much higher survival chance than even these guys in some situations. They're fantastic. They're fast. You can give them guns. I give them Bright Lances and Spirit Stones each, because you need to keep them moving. And they're with the dual Bright Lances, the twin linked Bright Lances, they have a 75% chance of hitting their mark, which is pretty good. It gives them a nice chance to pop that pesky Land Raider, pop that pesky Rhino that's moving down the field, or in my case, I fight Sisters of Battle. It's been awesome at killing those nasty Exorcist tanks. So I give them Spirit Stones and Bright Lances. It makes them a rather expensive tank, but they can hold a lot of units and they're fast as hell. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Inside one of my tanks is a group of 10 Dire Avengers with Bladestorm and a dual Shuriken guns for the leader. And that is just my primary A, mobile scoring unit, B, mobile firebase, because they can pump out an absolute ton of shots with Bladestorm. With Bladestorm on, you get 3 from every guy, and then 5 from the guy in the middle. So that's just an absolute boatload of shots. And they have a good ballistic skill. With that ballistic skill of 4, they're going to hit pretty good. Obviously, Dire Avengers are much better than their Guardian counterparts, and they're not that expensive. This whole group, fully upgraded like this, costs me $152, so that's not too bad.